大家好. I'm Vince, co-founder and COO at ElectricFish. ElectricFish is a climate tech company that was founded back in 2019 around the goal of enabling a more decarbonized, resilient, and ultimately equitable future for mobility. Together with my co-founders back in 2019, we combined our collective 35 plus years of experience at places like NASA and BMW to tackle a groundbreaking opportunity. If we are truly to achieve the open and agnostic EV revolution, we'll need to find a way to reliably power all these new vehicles that will be launched. But we are finding that EV adoption is largely still limited by grid infrastructure. From a centralized standpoint, it's extremely expensive. As you think about the power grid operators that ultimately power the vehicles and stations, it's extremely expensive. These are aging grid infrastructure that is almost 100 years old and will cost significant amounts of funding to overhaul. At the same time, we are seeing a lot of interest from sites of all types, fleets, auto dealerships, property developers. A lot of them share the same problem, which is that they don't have necessarily the power available to serve high-speed EV charging. For them to make their site compatible, it can take years and 6 figures in USD. And then finally, once the systems are actually implemented, what happens to the ROI? We are dealing with high peak demand charges from the grid when everyone's trying to plug in at the same time, and uptime becomes a very big challenge. And so all these will pose very negative consequences for the actual charging experience for these new EVs coming online. So we're really excited to bring resilience, energy security to the EV charging experience, but more broadly, thinking about how we can reshape the grid as we enter this new era of mobility. And so we've combined a number of solutions in our suite of technologies. The flagship product is our 350 Squared, which is a battery storage integrated DC fast charging system. We've basically integrated the various subcomponents into a containerized form factor which basically allows us to deploy in a matter of weeks instead of years without trenching or site upgrades. Each of these units is embedded with local load balancing capabilities. So each of these systems is able to effectively provide backup energy as well as demand management capabilities for the site and for the EVs. And then we've also developed intelligent siting platforms to help understand where will the grid be a challenge for these new EVs being rolled out. Our key advantages are that our system does not entail the costly trenching or grid upgrades that usually you might see with a traditional EV charging infrastructure. And doing so allows us to accelerate the installation of high-powered 350 kilowatt charging in a matter of from years to weeks. We are also able, with our battery storage integration, to lower the total cost of ownership for the EV operation. So when we heard this morning about car sharing, ride-hail fleets, these are exciting new verticals that will be very cost-constrained. And so with our ability to basically peak shift, we can take advantage of low-cost charging. And then finally, reliability is going to be extremely critical for measuring the success of these EVs. And so with our battery storage capabilities, we can effectively keep mission-critical functions online with our microgrid capabilities, and we can easily redeploy our system to different locations when there's need. Relative to the market, we've seen a lot of comparisons to other battery integrated charging systems, traditional networks, and backup generation systems. Our key advantages are that we really outperform across the full value chain. So from deployment to operation of charging to providing other value streams, our system shines in the fact that it's able to combine multiple value streams in one neatly packaged system. We work with a variety of players. So for enterprise customers, we basically provide our value stack as a turnkey infrastructure. So for fleets and car dealers, we basically provide a sale and SaaS model. But for gas stations and convenience stores, we provide a license model where we retain ownership of the system and basically have a rev share with those partners. We've seen a lot of our traction to date with the power utilities, as well as some of the tier 1 OEMs that are very invested in bringing high-powered EV charging to their dealerships. But we're also seeing a lot of interest from fleets and other types of enterprise players that value speed of deployment and resilience. To show how this has worked in practice, we did a pilot with the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, the US's largest municipal utility back in the winter. They had a very minimal grid connection available, just 5 kilowatts a single phase. To implement a charging system of our speed, it would have traditionally taken about 2 years. What usually takes 2 years, we did in 2 weeks. And included in that 2 weeks was 2 days of actual installation effort. Our key to success here was that we did not require trenching, we did not require grid upgrades. We were able to work directly with the site with its existing electrical infrastructure. And more importantly, for the entire 3 months, LADWP reported that there was 0 peak load. And so when we think about the ongoing operating costs of your fleet or your EVs, we were basically able to balance out those shifts in peak demand. And when it came time to redeploy, it only took us 30 minutes to basically remove the system and load onto a truck for easy transport. So it's a very lightweight infrastructure. We also did a software pilot with a major utility to help them think about how to appropriately size their grid infrastructure and also how to deploy such that they minimize grid risks. Going forward, we're really excited about the future. We are gearing up to serve our pipeline from a variety of enterprise customers, primarily from dealerships and fleets. But we are also beginning to think about how do we scale up from in-house manual, basically manufacturing, to ramp up, and then to contract manufacturing. It's a really big reason why we're here in Taiwan, because we want to learn and collaborate with partners like MIH in bringing forth an open and collaborative ecosystem. Our goal is to reach 1,000 cumulative installations of our system by middle of 2026, and we hope to achieve so by raising a combination of equity and debt. We are currently fundraising for a $7 million equity round. This will complement a $24 million debt facility that we've recently secured the term sheet for to basically spur rapid deployability of these hardware and software integrated assets. So going forward, we're really excited about what the future holds for global sustainability, but also for mobility. Mobility is now uniquely poised and positioned to have a massive impact in achieving decarbonization and resilience and equity goals. But we think that especially the MIH, given its very unique vantage point as a global consortium of like-minded and innovative thinkers, that there's a really big opportunity to create a massive impact. We're seeing a lot of interest now in America around sort of Buy America. And so the fact that MIH has strategically positioned itself with operations in Ohio, we think that that could lead to a very fruitful collaboration as we think about integrating and scaling our technology. And so we're really excited about the open agnostic EV revolution and would be honored to play a small role in enabling this future. Thank you.